So Westwood Instruments sent through a pretty cool looking instrument. It's a Kontakt enabled one, it's a sample library of some like synth textures and vintage sort of sounds and that sort of stuff. Honestly, it was pretty cool and I was looking forward to opening it, but then I got just completely smashed, so busy. So I didn't get a chance to kind of use the instrument or even frankly open it. Normally I like to do a demo track and kind of test it out and give you some opinions, but today I thought might be a cool opportunity to just kind of open it here and now and experience it firsthand and see what I think and take you along for that journey too. I don't know, it could be fun. So why not stick around and see Lost Synth by Westwood Instruments. Hello, my name is Steve and welcome back to Command Shift New. Now normally, as I said, I sort of demo instruments by kind of making a track with them so that I can actually see how they work and what sort of layers are available and whether I can make an entire song from it. However, I've been super busy, so instead I'm just going to open it for the first time and take you along for the journey. So what is this sample library? Well, this is Lost Synth by Westwood Instruments and they sent it through a little bit early ahead of when they were going to release it. It is now since released and it's on an introductory offer, I think. They didn't pay me or anything like that, they just sent it because they thought I might be interested. Now let's take a look initially at the website and just kind of get a feel for what this instrument's supposed to be. So Lost Synth is their new sort of thing. Let's have a little look at the trailer. I actually have no idea what this synth sounds like. I mean, I can get an idea from it just from the kind of vibe, but let's take a look. And if it sounds half as good as that when you actually play it, I'll be happy. I kind of like that. I mean, it appeals to my sort of sound design sort of nature. So it seems like vintage synths, sort of warped and reimagined. It's got an interesting looking interface. I'm looking forward to kind of digging into that. It's NKS ready, which is fantastic. Oh, it comes with some free drums. Our brief was simple. I quite like this. Our brief was simple. Make sounds that feel like they come from a movie. Well, as a media score composer, I'm definitely gonna be keen to see how that sounds. This is an interesting sort of naming convention. They got like dust, glow, warp, dirt, shirt, I think. I don't know what that last one is, but I guess it's a kind of a creative way of kind of summing up a mood or emotion, particularly if it's like film score music orientated. It's very kind of, it gives you a good vibe, I think. I can imagine what the sound of dusk will be, what the sound of warp, dirt will be. It's kind of emotive labeling. I quite like it. All right, let's open it, see what it does. So I quite like the interface. I think it looks like it's kind of like an A-B side thing. Let's just play something and see what it sounds like. Honestly, could have picked like a more interesting opening sound. I mean, it sounds good, like the quality is good, but that's just kind of a bit, I don't know, lackluster, a bit boring to open. Like I was expecting something like wow. You know, a lot of sample libraries when they put up the first patch that it's default, it's like something that blows you away to get you excited. Let me just see what this A-B sort of blend does. I think it would help if I turn on B. Let's take a look. Which that's just the same thing. So maybe if I click on this, okay, so we got, what's dusty fifths? Ooh, it's making a sound without me even pressing on it. Because it's a preview, you idiot. That's actually quite a nice feature. I like that. You click on the sound and it previews it. That's nice. Oh, it looks like you can turn off the preview. That's quite good. All right, I've loaded up Chroma. Let's see what that's like. Quite like that. Let's see if we can learn that to the mod wheel there. Yeah, perfect. I quite like that morphing between A and B. That's kind of nice effect. A lot of libraries do that. They have the two sort of loading options. It's quite nice. I really do like that preview of the sound feature though. That's quite a good one. So we've got some basic sort of level, pan, tune, yeah. Attack and release, that's good. So actually if we set a blend here and we set the attack on this one to be like quite along. That's nice. That's starting to get some magic happening there. I like that. I don't know what any of these mean. Look at this. So like as I hover over, it comes up with the help things. It's just a neat little Kontakt feature that I love scripting into libraries that I create, and it's very helpful. Like a raging bull getting closer and closer as temper. Oh, I've got to hear that. Do I need to turn something else on? Let's have a listen to Muse. I think I have to have mood on. I like that, whatever that is. You know what? I'm going to remove the MIDI automation there and I'll add this because I reckon that would be cool. Whoa, that's nice. I like that. So mood is something different, motion. Okay, so when I was trying tempo before, I just didn't have mood turned on. This is why I should really try out libraries before I do it. Anyway, I'm going to turn this up. I like that. I don't know if mood always needs to be, is it always like a vibrato-y type sound? No, so it seems like these are pulses and these might be less pulsy. I do like some of those sounds. That's quite nice. I mean, I always feel like effects are kind of part of the sound design and they're so important. So when there's a nice blend of effects and it's easy to use, that's like such a critical thing for me, I find. It's crazy because some people don't even use the effects in a sample library. They kind of load up their own effects and you're more than welcome to do that at any time, but there is some cool stuff built into this library. So motion is some sort of thing. If we turn motion on, I guess it's going to give me a pulse. You can hear there, it's sort of like it's an amp LFO essentially. Take a look at the saw. Let's increase the depth and reduce. Oh, it's time locked. I quite like that. Okay, so you can time lock either the speed or the motion. So let's do this. I think I might need to turn the mood off to really hear it. That's weird. I turned off mood and it reset my motion. Don't know why that was the case. Yeah, not really the EDM type banger, you know, so it's not really going to be that. I'd probably just use plugins for that. I don't know how useful motion is to me, but mood, I do quite love that. What's down here? So this is in sounds, processing. Quite nice. Memories, what is this? This is some sort of delay? Okay, now we're into some magic stuff. Seems like we have some presets over here. Let's take a look. Okay, just changing to the preset there has told me I'm gonna love this. Man, the reverb tail just continues, just goes on and on. That is fantastic. You know what? I think that then really delays, you know, adds some ADSR. That's just at the B side. Okay, so that's, and then I have to add, okay, so that's the full ADSR for each side, which you then have to apply. Okay, that makes more sense. Right, okay, I get it now. That reverb tail, man. Whew. Okay, so places. Okay, so the usual sort of like reverb. Okay, so ambience and then reverb and then delay and then a little bit of noise. Oh, okay. Let's get really kind of tape. I like that. You have to be really careful with this sort of stuff because it can get a bit too much, if you put too much noise in, particularly with, you know, conditions for how much noise you can really put into it, like a film score for broadcast and that sort of stuff. So yeah, you have to be a bit careful of it, but it's a nice little texture, particularly if you're doing anything, I don't know, lo-fi. Oh, I feel bad just to say that. It's such an easy target. Anyway, ambience. That is like, what? That is cool. Okay, so it's not just noise, it's like a whole it is just, I can't even describe it. I mean, I know what it is. It's just basically recordings of like the area, like, so like a recording of the noise in a room, the hall, the ocean, the city. But that, including that, that's cool. That is really cool. I think it's like better than just noise. I mean, it kind of makes a lot of sense for very atmospheric textural things. I mean, writing in film score, you'd probably be writing to some sort of ambience track that's already there anyway, so it's probably less useful in terms of a film score. But if you wanted to create an ambient feeling, a cinematic feeling in your track, that's pretty cool to include. I like that. And then some reverb and delay, let's just throw those on. My delays and reverbs are kind of going crazy now. So that's quite nice. That's a good collection of tools. I think I quite like the memories section and the places section the most. I often think like, yeah, recording an interesting sound to start with is a good place to start, obviously, but it's how you morph that sound and how you kind of manipulate that sound that makes it even more interesting. So I think the memories and the places tab really kind of stand out to me there. I quite like that. Let's try some of the presets. Okay, so this is where the dirt, dusk, glow stuff comes in. Let's take a look. So synths, it's like glass pipes. That kind of sounds interesting. All right. Try one from the dirt. Let's see what that's like. Infectious. Also, I apologize if you're getting sick of C major random chord progressions. I'm not the best of piano players, so sorry about that. How about motions? Let's take a look. Flicker, shallow. Okay, this is breaking away from the other naming conventions. Let's say flicker, fried PCB. That should be nice, glitchy sort of sound, right? Okay, that's pretty interesting. Let's look at shallow. Maybe midnight somewhere? That sounds kind of intriguing. I mean, they all sort of strike me as kind of interesting sounds. I don't think any are blowing me away, but they are quite nice. And I can see myself using them quite well inside different things. Layered textures, that sort of stuff. It's very much textural. So I'm not really, like, I'm just playing chords at the moment. I don't really have a sound yet where I'm like, oh, that's a great up sort of sound or something. It's really kind of texture layering. That's sort of what is kind of speaking to me at the moment. Okay, memories. I'm hoping that's going to do something cool with the memories tab. Let's take a look at the realization from Glow. Yeah, I can see myself using that. It's the memories thing. That's, to me, the standout of this instrument. The memories stuff is just gorgeous. I think I'm a bit of a sucker, though, for delays and reverbs, man. It's just, it really, you can do a lot with a good delay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, it's really good. 4 Moons, what is that? That is... Yeah, see, some of these just stand out so amazing. It's kind of weird that, you know, one of those presets didn't sort of start the library. As I was saying before, you kind of want to start with something that's a little more exciting. That, when you're diving into this library, that could be pretty cool. So to wrap up, what do I think of this library? I mean, I really enjoyed it. I really quite like it. I think some of it's a little bit kind of quietly understated. There's some strength in some of its plainness in aspects of it. It has like a kind of sense of, I don't know, it's not boring per se, but they're not always exciting, crazy sound design stuff. And that's kind of good in a way, because sometimes when you've got that one patch that just sounds amazing and you hold down a couple of keys and it just makes this amazing atmosphere, it can kind of get in the way of like everything else. Like there's no space to actually write the track around it sometimes. Whereas these textures leave a lot of room, which is quite nice. And I can see myself using this to layer in textures in a subtle way, just to kind of provide something other than silence under another lead part, maybe. I can definitely see this being like sci-fi sort of stuff for sure, like definitely kind of like weird worlds, new landscape, new setting, something like that. I can definitely see it being a strength there. And oh man, I love the memories tab. Memories in the places stuff with those ambient spaces, those delays and pitch warbles and that sort of stuff. That is gorgeous. I love that. Great job. So overall, I mean, if it's a library for you, that is entirely down to you. I don't sit here to sell you anything at all. All I'm doing is testing this out, and you know, I'm glad I've got it now. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much, Westwood Instruments, for sending this one over, because now I get to use it, which is pretty cool. And maybe you'll be able to spot it in some of my music in the future as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that was kind of fun to see me kind of experience it as well with you in a way. And I'd be keen to know in the comments what you thought of some of the patches and some of the stuff that I was commenting on. As always, if you've liked this video, then why not give it a thumbs up, and you know, feel free to subscribe for future stuff as well. We're always doing new stuff. We're kind of diving into tutorials, but as well as reviews, as well as like think pieces and that sort of stuff. Lots of things on the way and already in development, so why not subscribe so you don't miss out. So subscribe on your way out, but otherwise I will catch you in the next one.